Hi, this is Tisch Aitken, and it's February 28th, 2023. And this is a very big week ahead and a very big time for all of us because we have major planetary changes occurring in the month of March. And one of which, the biggest, is that Pluto, the planet of death, rebirth, and transformation, is going to enter the fixed air sign of Aquarius. It's going to be there for a little while. It will re-enter the late degrees of Capricorn on June 10th. And in the beginning of next year, it will re-enter Aquarius, where it will transit until 2043. So it's going to be there a long time. And Pluto, when it transits, it only moves 2 degrees a year. It moves very slowly. And it brings tremendous change. And it brings change in society. And it initially entered Capricorn on January 8th, January of 2008. And since then, a lot of change in the way we do business, in many structures in our lives. And in 2008 and 2009, Pluto was at the world point, hitting every one of us. And that brought the financial crisis and many changes in how we do business again. And now Pluto is wrapping that up. It's at the final degree of Capricorn. It will only get to 0 degree of Aquarius this year. And that's setting off the pairing of Saturn, which is karma and the structure. Saturn met up with Jupiter, which is the vision and expansion. The two met up on December 20th of 2020 and ushered in a whole new era, the new age of Aquarius, the closest they had been in the sky in over 800 years. And that was definitely the mark of a new era, a new time. And in Aquarius, it's about society, it's about the collective, it's about learning and enlightenment, and it's definitely fixed, rapid change. And it can be revolution and rebellion, and it can be chaos. It also can be brilliance and ascension. So it can be many different things, but it's been very difficult to structure this time. And right now, Saturn is transiting at the final degree of Aquarius, and that's also happening in the background. And Saturn in Aquarius right now is where it was on April 30th of 1993, when the internet, when the World Wide Web became public domain. And we're wrapping up Saturn in Aquarius this time, whole new burst of the digital age, and in terms of how we have handled this pandemic, because Saturn initially entered Aquarius on March 23rd of 2020, and it got as far as 2 degrees of Aquarius. It re-entered Capricorn on July 1st of that year, and then it re-entered Aquarius on December 20th, met up with Saturn, again ushering in a whole new age, now in air signs, dealing with learning and our skills and our learning and our intelligence being our biggest currency in this time and our biggest assistance. And now Saturn is wrapping up the story, but it's entering Pisces, which is very centered on imagination, on the arts, on music. Definitely Neptune is the higher octave of Venus, very associated with music and musicians and artists of all kinds, and definitely people that deal with metaphysical arts, that deal with tarot or crystals or Reiki and energy work. And when you have somebody with the higher form of Neptune, which really is about empathy and compassion, doing a reading for you or guiding you in therapy or doing some kind of energy work, their intuition can be, amazing, and how well they tune into what your particular issue is. And for all of us, there's going to be, again, more of a direction with metaphysics, because Saturn enters Pisces, which is very soul-based and alternative and healthy ways of healing. And it can also be escapism and drugs and alcohol and escapism and deception and self-undoing. And we'll be dealing with that as a culture too, as a society, because Saturn, where it transit, brings the karmic lessons and how we heal during this time. But with Pluto and Aquarius, it's, engendering new ways of doing business and, many more virtual possibilities. There is that part of it that's positive for people, and the challenging and scary part is in that the fact that we are dealing now technically with the final part of the Saturn return of the internet, and Saturn won't be in Aquarius for another 26 years, is now with Pluto, which is transformation, entering the sign of Aquarius, where it's going to be on and off through early 2043. That's a long time. Not losing the human part of things, and not losing the fact that while we heal, there are a lot of alternative ways of reaching people. We also need to come together in person and bring love and empathy to our everyday lives, and I think that's really important. I think music and the arts and love are going to be really healing tools. They always are, but I think much more focus in this, and a lot of focus on the arts with mental health, probably some big charity events or things. A lot of them will be focusing much more on that. So that's a universal language. And so this week we've got Venus met up with let's see. So actually Juno and Eris met up, and that can be discordant energy in Aries, the angry feminine, the warrior feminine, and Venus is going to meet up with Jupiter, the luckiest planet, on March 1st at 9:36 p.m. Pacific Standard Time, and on March 2nd at 12:36 a.m. Eastern Standard Time at 12 degrees of Aries. And that is a very auspicious and magnetic and lucky combination. That's the two benefics of the zodiac. Jupiter being the planet of good fortune and expansion and higher knowledge. Venus being the planet of love and beauty and creativity and value. And that can be very lucky for financial opportunities, for being creative, for romantic opportunities. And then on March 2nd, Mercury is going to meet up with Saturn, and they're gonna meet up at 29 degrees and 24 minutes of Aquarius at 9:34 a.m. Eastern Standard Time. And that brings a turning point in wrapping up the Saturn and Aquarius story, even though it's still really a composite of both the Aquarian and Pisces energy going forward, in that Pluto entering Aquarius for a very long time, we're still very much in Aquarian energy in a huge way. It's getting to the very first degree, the degree of new beginnings. But Saturn enters Pisces on March 7th, where it will be on and off through February 15th of 2026, and that being the focus on metaphysics and on healing and love and, a lot of, alternative ways of healing and using your intuition, working with your dreams, with manifestation. But with the Aquarian slant to this, I think that that's also very centered on metaphysics and on the collective and on finding people with whom you really resonate, and that's forming community. And Aquarius, I think of it rules astrology. It can represent more the cerebral approach to metaphysics. And I think that, Pluto entering Aquarius on March 23rd, that's a big deal in the same month that Saturn changes signs and enters Pisces. Aquarian, Pisces energy, very prevalent for a long time, and at least the next couple of years in terms of the Pisces angle to that. And then we've got Mars, the planet of action, changing signs on March 25th, 26th. And so that's also going to be, it's been there since August 20th, and it's a long time, very scattered energy. And then, over the weekend, we're going to have Venus meeting up with Chiron, the wounded healer, on Friday. And that is, that can bring up wounds and vulnerability, but it is very good energy for taking initiative in the sign of Aries to focus on what you want to heal. And the thing I neglected to say is that Mercury, the planet of communication, changes signs on March 2nd and enters the mutable water sign of Pisces. Very scattered energy already. Sun is transiting in Pisces as we speak, and so it entered Pisces on February 19th. It'll be there until the equinox on March 20th. And now Mercury, the planet of outlook and learning and thoughts and ideas, enters Pisces on March 2nd, where it will transit until April 19th. And that also gives us a preview of Saturn, which anchors where it's transiting. It's going to be transiting in Pisces, which is completely amorphous and uncontainable, and it rules the ocean. And so structuring dreams in time, where they seem impossible, and working in a time where, your imagination is infinite. And so you can structure some magic in an amazing way if you, in some ways, kind of reframe the idea of how things should be structured, because it will be difficult to do it in a traditional way with both Aquarian energy, which is very irreverent, and Pisces, which is very scattered. And so, working from that artistic type of way. So I wish you a lot of luck. A lot of change this week, I feel, with the energy, and with Mercury changing signs and Saturn at the final degree of Aquarius. Mercury meets up with Saturn. You've got the Venus Chiron energy bringing a lot of healing. Chiron is literally the wounded healer. And we're approaching Saturn entering Pisces, which is definitely dealing with healing the wounded and the forgotten, and, just coming together to heal. So thank you very much, and take care. Bye.